Shit. Gotta go for the goal, yeah, we gotta win. All heart and the soul, yeah, we putting in the trenches with the brothers, gotta play to win. One more play, then we in the ship. One more game, we gon' get a win. Fight through pain, I can never quit. One more play, then we in the ship. One more play, then we in the ship. Gotta go for the goal, yeah, we gotta win. All heart and the soul, yeah, we putting in the trenches with the brothers, gotta play to win. One more play, then we in the ship. One more game, we gon' get a win. Fight through pain, I can never quit. One more play, then we in the ship. One more play, then we in the shit. From the goal
Equal opportunity, I believe, should be right. I believe every woman should have the opportunity to do whatever she wants to do. See, but that's not what they want.
Yeah.
That's never what they want. What they want is equality of outcome. See, but what makes it so backwards is that what they don't understand is, see, they only want equality of outcome for the CEO positions. But you don't talk about that with garbage trucks and construction team. You don't want that side. So they want you to pay for the day while still expecting the same stuff that you're not even dating. They'll have foodie, as they call them, foodie dates these days.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but I also think that there's some women who, I know women I dealt with, probably you dealt with, that has no problem allowing a man to lead. Mm-hmm. They know their role and their
society.
You know what I mean? There are some. So I don't think we can categorize
I don't
all Western women.
Yeah, I don't categorize it in general. What I do is more so is from what I've experienced, especially here, because don't get me wrong, what you're experiencing now is an extreme version of this. Mm-hmm. Like, I tell most women, I'll take your ass to Saudi Arabia and then everything. I mean, Brittany Griner's a great example. She is the perfect analogy for it. How she thinks that, I'm the West, free speech, and you go kick your ass to Russia. Like, I knew guys in Russia. I told them before the war started, a year before the war started, because I'm plugged into all this stuff. This is how I've been such a good investor. I told them, get out. Zeke, get out. There ain't no questions asked, just get out. Zeke, go out. It's about the impending war. Oh, you playing? All right. 6 months later, they started. That's when they got into the border. I'm like, it's like, you're right. Clearly, I'm right. Like, you're be glad you're able to get out. But Brittany Griner, the war's already started. You're 6 months in, and you go to Russia. And this is where, when I was a kid, like, it's like you can't. You have to understand just how spoiled you are here, right? It's like you can't go over there and expect the same rights and privileges that you're so used to here.
Absolutely.
When you go over there, and that's basically the whole point of it. It's like you can only have those values that you live because you live here. Yeah. You can't do like that's why it's so important to travel. That's why it's so important to travel. Because if you travel, then you really understand. Like, I might not like the U.S., but like, why do you think I'm here right now? I could very easily be in Dominican Republic just chilling, because they only live off $250 a month. Right. So to me, it's nothing. But to everyone else, they're struggling. A lot of those guys don't have jobs, unemployment, credit cards, because it's a risk when they're charging 40% interest in credit cards. Right. But to them, they have to, because most of them default because they don't have jobs. That's the real economic environment of how it works in second, third, and first world countries. You can only have those views of feminism in first world countries. Can't do it in second. And the women in the second also inherently understand that, which is why I want to go to the Dominican.
Yeah. Now, do that make that right? Like, do that make, non-Western? Yeah,
it does, because Western values aren't always the best. See,
we're talking about as far as feminine.
I'm saying. It's like you have to remember, when you're talking the views that you're speaking from your own perception.
Right.
So that means if you haven't traveled, you don't know what it's like when you travel. I speak of some place where it's different. Doesn't matter where you're at. The values are different. I mean, I've played professional basketball for 8 years. Now, I took the last 2 years off. I'm trying to build a business for myself, which is why I'm actually here, to help you guys do the same thing. I want to build what you guys are doing, because it's important to be able to give back to the community and inform them, especially with the course I'm trying to create right now. You guys mentioned in your pockets a few times about what's happening, and I'm sure you're looking at in college and seeing all this money going around. Right. NIL has changed absolutely everything. I've spoken about this a decade ago. I said the NCAA should have been subsidized Division I, Division II athletes. That's how you do it. You subsidize it, and then you split it out between inflation, between higher cost of living areas in California, then you have cost of living areas in Pennsylvania. You subsidize it like any employee. You're making billions of dollars anyway. But because they're, as always, they're not able to see the long term. No, they decided to not do that, and then you have the Seed 16, the guys first time in the NCAA, and now their mother, because the school can't afford it, of course, they don't get the money, and they're like, oh wow, I can't go see my son play, and it looks bad on you. And then of course when everything started changing, and then by then it's too late. Well, now the G League has already gotten the Zions of the world. They're going to G League now. They're making $300K.
Right.
So now you lose that. Now you lost the star power of the NCAA. That's why you're seeing all this change.
But with NIL, I think that's going to take away from kids wanting.
Oh yeah, the NIL is going to be very dangerous.
Because you see, like, when you talk about NIL, you see people like the guy from Kentucky who stayed at Kentucky instead of going pro, because if he would have went pro, he'd have took a pay cut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The NIL,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, the NIL,
Oscar Seawood?
yeah, most athletes.
Basketball.
Yeah, most athletes don't and this is once again another reason why I'm creating the courses and products I'm trying to create. There's three main things I have big issues with our community in particular. It's that one is brand management. It's most people don't understand brand. You guys are starting to, for the fact that you're creating this podcast status, that's your brand.
Right.
And depending on how many people watch it, identify it, that's money, that's value. And understanding how to interpret that value, that's the ultimate reason why I'm trying to create this. Because what I'm seeing, ever since the NIL created, I see the vultures coming all over. They're everywhere.
Right.
And they are taking these kids and paying them decent salaries, not understanding the value of their own brand. And makes it worse is that it's not even the kids who are making decisions, it's the parents. I've been derailed by my own parents for certain situations, decisions they made because they thought they were looking out for my best interest. Mm-hmm. But now I have to be in the job of trying to inform the parents. Because now, like, dude, these guys, like, you can just look at the past 2 months and look at all the changes that's happening. And I've been saying this forever. Like, the moment you bring money into the mix, it's done. And that's what's ultimately going to happen. Unfortunately, you're going to see kids lose their scholarships when they don't bring enough money. And it's going to taint what everyone used to love about college football. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. At the end of the day, I do believe the athletes should be paid because it is their brand. But I'll also know the other side of that. The moment you start bringing money into the mix, well, guess what? You already see it. Texas, Kentucky, the big schools who have the money, and they're going to throw in, and the NIL is used as a community, and not just economics, this is so good. The NIL works by essentially investing in community projects. That's how the sponsors, but the alumni is able to indirectly invest. What they'll do is they'll indirectly give, like what I had when I was a kid. They had Diamond Deli, great sandwich spot still up. See, Diamond Deli, what they would do is they'll put my name up. Oh, he's a brand ambassador, and I'm paying him $5,000 a month for it, $10,000 a month for it. That's how you work. And then the NCAA can't say anything, which is what they tried to do when the Texas guy tried. They say, no, let's look at the rules. I'm just paying. He has a job. Now the cat's out of the bag. See, now you lost your opportunity to actually do it in a way where you can keep your integrity, but also give the kids, the athletes, what they actually deserve.
But how do you feel about the way that the NIL is going? Because the way that we all thought about it, the way that it's been presented is that, like, I'm a company, you endorse our company, we pay you. But it's gotten to a point where that all of these schools have these collectives, and they just have a bunch of people throwing money into this collective, and the kids aren't really doing anything. They're just giving them the money and saying it's NIL.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the legal jargon that they're going to use. Like what I explained to you is how they can directly do this through lawsuits. Like, this is how they're going to be able to access this money. Mm-hmm. So, like, this is why I'm so excited to be as analytical as I am, because it's very easy for me to see where these things is. And of course, when there's that much money being made, I mean, you can already see the top 10 already. Bronny James, of course, he was a guarantee because of LeBron James. He is a brand in himself.
Right.
That's why they threw money at him. And then Obsession, some part of Obsession as well. There's a woman who is number 2, who's getting paid like $20 million.
Is that Paige?
Yeah, I think it's her. Like, see, those top 10, I'm sure, I hope, they have a good team around them who's managing it well. But when there's not much when there's not much money, there is too much corruption easily. I mean, we know this. We all know this. There's a lot of corruption, and that's what I'm seeing now. And it's getting so far. It's a Wild West now. And I'm seeing even agents that I know who are trying to get these kids early. And I mean early. They're going after them freshmen now. And I'm like,
they're legally allowed to do it.
Well, they're not.
Well, they are. They just have to pay a fee to become a marketing.
Well, kinda. It's like in a way they're not, because remember the brand is the athlete. In almost all these cases, the athlete's underage. So technically, you're not allowed to. You have to go to the parents.
In terms of college kids,
yes.
Most athletes are of age.
Yes, but they're going after them in high school now.
Well, yeah, that's because Pennsylvania just passed a law that high school kids can receive it.
Well, they have to now, because like I said, the cat's out of the bag. If you say no, you're gonna have lawsuits, as of what NCAA tried to do with Texas. Like if they would have went to a court, Texas would have won. I could see it already. I'm like, yeah, they beat you. It's too late. Right. It's the same thing when it comes to everything. So now, just like the marijuana laws, exact same thing. Marijuana's starting to get legalized everywhere. Pennsylvania's already poised to be a marijuana capital in this Western. I mean, a key sport. You can already see with Trulieve. Of course, they're laying some people off because of the economic recession. But the moment it becomes legal, like the big issue with Trulieve right now is the fact they can't use any federal funding. They can't get loans. They can't get financing because it's illegal federally. So you're not allowed to get a bank account. You're not allowed to get everything has to do with cash. And if they do use credit, that's why you pay such a big fee for it, because it's illegal, and whoever is processing that transaction is taking a risk. Same thing with the porn industry. But the moment it's legal, oh gosh, like it's going to explode. Like, it's not even just how much people are going to buy, but the fact that now venture capitalists are going to throw money at it.
Right.
And when venture capitalists throw money at it, I mean, they technically already did with Trulieve. You see, they just bought all that warehouse space for the hell of it. And now they're just hiring all these people for the hell of it. They don't know what they're doing, but they're hiring all these people because they got money. And they're finding out, okay, in the first 2 years, okay, who's good? Are you good? They're finding all the marijuana heads everywhere. All those people who love weed. Okay, let's get them. Can you grow something for me? They do it, they keep their job. They don't, they get laid off about 2 years later. And that's what's happening. I'm seeing the layoffs. 10% of them are gone. People who, leech off all the stuff. And then it keeps going again. It's all economic cycles. So it's, like I said, there's a lot that goes into it, but it's important to understand as parents, especially. It's like, if you don't know this, I'm already seeing some of these strategies that they're doing. And they're running circles around some of these parents. Right. And the moment you give up those rights to your kids, now, Wiz Khalifa just did it.
Yeah, he did.
Now, you are a walking billboard for his stuff. And if you don't know the true value of your own brand, then you might have just lost money on that. And depending on how long those contracts, I can't imagine what these contracts are like.
Now, let me stop you. How does a kid get to a point where he can kind of analyze how much his brand is one of the things I would say is understand what social media is. People misconstrue what social media is. Social media isn't what we grew up with. Social media used to be a place where you can connect with people. It's not what it is no more. Social media is a tool to be able to bring out a message. YouTube is probably one of the most best inventions in our generation right now. Because what YouTube has allowed, even though I don't like Google because they're having their own issues, but YouTube has given everyone the power to make money on their passions through people who want to. I'm a YouTube fanatic. Don't get me wrong. So
YouTube, wow, a lot of them, like the kids, they make money off playing with cars.
Yeah, that's the thing. They make money because people are interested in watching whatever you're doing, and when you find that, then there's ads that can be sold. That's why they make money. They make money through ads. So. There's a YouTuber I follow. He has over 1 million subscribers now. All he does is read Reddit stories. That's what he does. He just reads Reddit stories. He gets on front of the stool, gets some likes, and he reads horror Reddit stories. 1 million subscribers. He's probably making, with 1 million subscribers, on average ad rates, I can only imagine he's probably making at least 6 figures. Or
How long is the YouTube videos?
It could be 10 minutes. 15 minutes, depends on what you want to do. Yeah. Same thing, one of the things.
I'm saying his, how long is his?
Oh, his probably, sometimes it can be 10 minutes, sometimes it can be 20 minutes, depends on the story.
Right.
Because on Reddit, people are writing their own stories.
Right.
You have the movie recap. I'm sure you guys seen those, right? Mm-hmm. The movie recaps, you can see recaps. It's endless. It's literally infinite with the type of opportunities you can make. And as long as there's an audience for it, which there is, there's always an audience for anything. Basketball, people who like basketball. There's people who like decorations. I mean, look at the women's makeup channels.
Right.
Dude, like that scenario, they're making. And then you have to also understand, okay, well, if they're following makeup, this is what helps when it comes to marketing, and this is how you learn. And that's why I think it's very important for every kid to understand YouTube. Everyone should have a YouTube channel. I think it's so important because you learn so many things by having a YouTube channel. You learn how to market yourself. You understand power of branding. You understand how to edit videos. You have to edit your own videos. You learn skills that will, I mean, just those 3-4 skills alone. You can go to college and be able to work part-time just editing videos. Like, dude, like, I'm not even a decent editor, and people will ask me to edit their own videos.
Right.
And I'm not that good at it. Like, I'm just trying to start. Now, I don't have your studio like I did, because if I had all this, that's what I'm trying to build right now. Mm-hmm. If I had it, like, I would have my own studio. I already have most of my gear in my car.
Right.
I just don't have the spot yet, which is fine. But ultimately, that's what needs to happen. You need to, because once you do that, and you start getting the audience, one, you're able to be authentic. That's the only way to grow on YouTube, in my opinion. If you're not authentic, then people will see right through you.
Right.
No doubt.
Yeah, so as you can tell with my passion I have here, like, this is what I need people to understand. It's like, this is what it's about. It's about winning whatever message you have, whatever you believe in. You believe in status and what it represents. And then as you put out content and people start following you, and as you increase your production value and get better and better at it, well, then that's when advertisers become in, oh, well, can you do this ad sponsorship? Can you do this ad sponsorship? And then you start understanding about your own brand. And then once you do that, that's when you can start negotiating. And this is what I've taught pro athletes all the time. I said the reason why most guys lose their jobs as a professional basketball player is that you become valueless. Right. If you lose games, in realistic sense, if you lose 2 games, what happens? As a professional foreigner, ticket sales go down, apparel sales go down, people stop going to the game. And if that's say, for a few teams I've been there, say their salary cap's around $50,000 US, and you're paying me 15, well, I'm giving it to you. I'm gonna go find someone else.
Right.
And what happens when they find someone else? This is actually what happened when I was in Taiwan. Oh, we got this NBA player, and then the ticket sales go back up. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it can work for the short term, but it doesn't work long term. But it works for the short term. But at the end of the day, you don't have any value anymore. The reason why I stopped playing basketball, because I understood I had to become valuable outside of basketball. Because once I'm valuable outside of basketball, then you're not gonna get rid of me.
Now, how do you go about building your brand? Like everybody says, I have a brand, I am a brand. But how do you go about making that brand marketable and making that brand global?
Well, most people already do that. You do that through posting stuff on social media.
Yeah.
That's what that is. You're advertising yourself every time you post. That's one of the very few things that we did get taught when we were a kid. Watch what you post, watch what you post. People don't understand why they're saying that. You're saying that because whatever you post, for better or for worse, is what people see of you. Right. So you put whatever message you want to get out, bad or good. I mean, I'm sure you heard of Andrew Tate right now, right?
Who?
Andrew Tate.
Kickboxer dude.
Massive. That's one of the things it's one of the things I respect about him, because I know a lot of guys like him. Like, he doesn't care about it. He believes in the message, and he's going to put it out. And what do you see? You see people following him. As much as people want to talk bad about him, he is authentic in what he says. He believes basically everything he says. I've been following him for years, and he's been in the internet for a while. But
he's saying some wild stuff.
He does. He's a marketing genius in that way.
Yeah, he is.
He causes controversy.
Right.
What that does is it makes people talk. And at the end of the day, he's right. He's the most Google man on the planet. And it's like, at the end of the day,
he's the most Googled man.
Oh yeah. He is the most Googled man on the planet.
What does he talk about? What does he say?
I just seen him recently because of he said something on his podcast about women or something, and then maybe a month later, him and Jake Paul got into it about the box and stuff. Like, that's how I seen Cuz.
Yeah, he's different. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's an individual who he understands the value of power. But that's really what that is. Yeah. When you have money, you have power.
All publicity is good publicity. That's it.
In a way, it's like
that's what it is.
His whole thing is, I'm not going. He is not going to sacrifice his beliefs for money because he has enough money. And that's the same thing with Trump. That's why he won.
Right.
And that's why I respect Trump. At the end of the day, people can have what they have want to feel about him. But at the end of the day, the reason why I like Trump because the Republicans and Democrats didn't like him. I mean, the fact y'all two don't like him, I like him now. Because that means you can't control them. And that's why, and even now, that's why they're trying to get him.
How powerful is the dollar? How powerful does the dollar make a man? Because you just said
it depends.
He doesn't care about what he says because he has the money, and a lot of people hold their tongue because they want to make
especially
sure
that NIL
that they're able to.
But here's the thing: it's that and that's the crazy part. Is that if you become, and this is one thing I've learned, and that's why I don't hold back when I say no more. It's at the end of the day, I mean, I don't. I mean, I've done that too. Let's say, I've done that to an interview, but I don't hold back when I say anymore either. Because at the end of the day, you either will censor yourself or you're going to tell the truth. Like, I've traveled too much to know where the fact that you're censored, like, I'll take you to China right now, and they're losing their lives trying to speak out. It's like, to me, it's a crime, not only to your own ancestors, to ours as blacks, as people who were enslaved, who fought and won the genetic lottery in that situation where they survived somehow to where now here we are, and we ain't gonna speak out the truth. I mean, and not only we not speak out the truth for our community in particular, it's, well, who's our leaders? Our leaders are, I mean, I think
who are our leaders?
Nicki Minaj's, the people who have the most money. That's who is our leaders. The best leader that I think we could have had, unfortunately he passed away, was Kevin Samuels. People might not like him.
I like him.
But at the end of the day, what he understood was image is everything. We have to change our image.
Hold on.
He's right.
His process is like, it was our leader. That's wild. I like him.
He was. Dude, at one point, listen. At one point, he had Future and Nicki Minaj sitting on his chair, trying to get him to understand the difference of how their relationship behaviors are toxic, and it is. Not saying we have to do what you want, but there's a counter argument, and he's the only person who spoke about
it. He kept it real. I liked him. No, I'm
exactly.
not saying that, but
it's just like, I mean, I think you're starting to see that now. Even in YouTube, I'm seeing a lot of, for instance, J.R. Smith, Matt Barnes, all these guys create podcasts. I'm like, see, I'm glad you're doing this. Unfortunately, you should have did this 20 years ago, 10 years ago. You should have been doing this then. That's what I learned. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Because by the time I go back overseas, because I do want to go back overseas, because it's going to be important. I want to be a professional athlete currently while I go to McKeesport and tell guys, okay, this is how you do it.
Right.
If you really, but to get them.
So your plan is to get your podcast and get what you're doing up and running, and then go back to hooping?
I want to go back to hoop. I don't want to go back to hoop until I have what I call my digital home.
Okay, I got you.
I need a digital home because what happened when I went to Tunisia. So I went to Tunisia. That was my last place I played for the COVID, and they signed me up. JSK. It's JSK one. It's a very old club, 1850 I think it was established. This is Africa, Tunisia. So old club has a lot of history. Has fans literally around the world. I was in Canada. I want to go to JSK. I'm like, what the? Yeah, but I was like, okay. But when I played for them, and they put out a post, they put out one post on Facebook. I got 400 friend requests. I'm thinking, how many people were Googling my name at that point? And what was going on? A damn Facebook page. It's like, hell no.
Yeah. And if you had a digital home, that's what they would be going to.
They would be going there. And then I could capitalize on the traffic. And then I could capitalize on the course. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Like, I want it to be mine. I want my email list, my stuff, why am I hate Facebook? Like, I don't use it. Like, our parents use Facebook. Like, which is what they will tell you guys, like, yeah, Facebook isn't a good place to put up content. It's not made for that. Facebook is really meant for, even though they're trying to, but they're failing miserably. It's like, Facebook is trying to become a YouTube competitor, which they're not. I mean, Facebook gaming is terrible. There's a lot of bots too, but it's more so to keep people together and stay up to date on our parents, because they're on Facebook. That's the only reason why I still have it. And of course, a lot of teens and people reach out to me through Facebook, because Facebook is it's another network. It's one of the biggest platforms. It's still one of the biggest platforms. So at the end of the day, it's like, cool, okay, but outside that, it's like Facebook isn't meant to be able to at least draw content like that.
For me, like Facebook is your starting point,
right?
There, because like everybody that you know, the people that's going to support you is on Facebook. So if you post on Facebook and drive that traffic to YouTube and drive that traffic to whatever other platforms that you're on, I think that's what it's used for. It's used as a starting point to drive people.
Well, it depends on what your goal is. For instance, YouTube, like one of the reasons why I said you must create a YouTube channel, because YouTube has the biggest audience. There's 3.4 billion users a month on YouTube. That's half the world. So if you really want to get the biggest audience, you gotta go through YouTube. And not only is YouTube superior when it comes to that, it's also superior in its algorithms, and its AI, and the fact that it uses Google AdSense, and the fact it uses Google search terms. So all these terms, like let's say you want to say I want to fix a Toyota, a car, because there's a guy like Scotty Kimmer on YouTube.
Send you to YouTube.
Yeah, he's going to send you right to YouTube. Right. So at that, and if you're looking at that, then that's kind of what you want to focus on. Actually, the issue with YouTube is the fact that Google has their own. It's the war you're seeing with Elon Musk and Twitter. It's like Google has their own ideologies and they'll control censorship, and it's doing it too much now, to a point where I can't even for me, right now, I'm 50-50 on YouTube now. It's like, YouTube's the biggest, which is why I need to stay on there. But at the end of the day, they are censoring a lot more than they used to about 3-4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's causing, competitors to come out. And that's actually what I'm about to be on. I'm about to be on Rumble and YouTube, and I'm going to be both.
So you talk about, building your digital home, and then going back to being a professional athlete. Mm-hmm. Now, what's the likelihood? Is that door? How long is that door going to remain open for you to accomplish what you want to accomplish?
Well, what I really want to accomplish, I want to win at least one championship as a pro. I won 2 in university. I really want to win 1 as a pro, at least. Like, with what my goal is going to be, this is what people don't understand. You really want to extend your career, become marketable. That's how you do it. And this is the example I told a few products already. If I have a YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers, and I can guarantee a 10% throughput, which means 10% of those people will buy jerseys, tickets, sales, whatever. You ain't gonna get rid of me now.
Right.
Because now I'm too valuable. So now I'll say, and this is literally what I've done. I'll come, all right, instead of you paying me 10, I'll take 6. Don't worry about it. I'll take 6. Do you have any means of I'm showing the games? Because like when I was in Saudi, which is why you don't see a lot of content from me anyway when it comes to basketball, because some of these places don't have film. So what if I have my own team to do it? Okay, well, what if I charge $25 to do that? So that means not only my fans are going to watch, their fans are going to come here too.
Right.
And I'll say, you know what? I'll give you only about maybe 20%. I'll give you 20% of my revenues. Just sweeten the deal for them. You ain't getting rid of me now.
Right.
See, now I'm more valuable to you than you ever. So now I can go in and be a LeBron. That's what LeBron does. Even though he goes way too far with it. Yeah, he goes way too far with it. But his brand will keep him on the team. That's how when you lose. That's why when he loses, no one gets rid of him, right? Because he's still making the money. That's how
he's
you
still
have.
dropping 40 a night.
Well, of course. He is doing that. Listen, LeBron's still doing that. I mean, exactly. I have all respect for LeBron James. Business-wise, he is the pinnacle when it comes to business.
Right.
Real talk. And when it comes to some other things, no. But except in his business sense, top of the line, I believe he should be the model that people look into. Him and Kanye, they've both done great things.
What are some things that LeBron does outside of business that you disagree with?
I don't like I disagree. It's just the fact that, I've been to Akron, so. But LeBron is
Akron
just
sucks.
Yeah, can't be. We got chips. No football out there crush. I ain't gonna lie. Our hockey is trash. But basketball and soccer dominated. But yeah. Oh, this is crazy. But LeBron's issue is that, and I've said this to people, and people will fight me to the day. At the end of the day, I can tell he was raised by a single mother, and he hasn't had his father. He doesn't know how to take accountability. And that, to me, is his biggest flaw. Kobe Bryant takes accountability. That's why when you hear real G's of basketball, they never say LeBron's best. Because LeBron doesn't know how to accept when he does wrong.
Who's quote unquote the real G's?
To me?
Yeah.
Oh man. Like for instance, there's a guy I know right now in the Dominican Republic. played for teams.
Oh, you said I thought.
Yeah, I'm talking about professional athletes who are in the
like outside of the United States.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, even some in the U.S. Like there are some people who say like.
Because I heard some legends say that LeBron was the best.
Well, of course. I mean, it's debatable now because there's a difference when you're talking about the best. Like what LeBron is doing right now, to me,
won't be seen.
He's able to play. Like you know what I'm saying, he's been playing since he's 18. Like the fact that he's about to beat the point record, like in my mind, it's like, dude, it took you 10 years longer to do it. But that's also a testament to that too. The fact that you're able to play that long, like, all my respect, real talk. I don't care if he is taking HGH, 'cause I know he is. Oh, trust me. Oh, trust me. I already know. Like, at the end of the day,
You seen that boy take it?
oh, I already know he is. I'm not just listen. Somebody
test bro.
You can't be throwing out allegations like that.
Listen. It is well known that in the back end that it happens. The reason why nothing happens is because at the end of the day he's marketable, and like it's not overblown. Like sometimes it is, but because sometimes you see things like there are guys who will bring it up. There's no way you're recovering that fast. No way. Like the fact that you're doping something, even if it's not HGH, as something at the end of the day you're doing something. So it's like you
I don't agree with these allegations.
That's fine. Listen, that's fine. I'm just telling you in the grapevine what people say, because you have people who've experienced this, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, that's what he's doing." Yeah, of course. So it's like it's not like I'm going to criticize him. At the end of the day, it works. Like if he's able to play,
the opportunity you taking?
Me, no, I wouldn't personally do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't personally do it just because, like, to me, it's more important morally for me. Like, I want to be able to earn it with my own hands rather than trying to cheat for it. Not saying it's cheating, like, but dude,
what do you say?
But for me, like, I think my issue with LeBron is that he doesn't take the good and bad. He only takes the good. When good things happen, it's LeBron. But when bad things happen, it's everyone else. It's like I can't do that. It's like I couldn't even play with them inaccurate. That's one reason why I hated being on the team with them. Because it's always his show, and the moment it didn't work out his way, he acts like a little princess and just bothered me. I'm like, dude, like,
wait, inform us this. What you mean?
Oh man, listen. Okay, yeah.
So those of us who don't know.
Yeah. So in University of Akron, LeBron James would come down and play, open gym with us a lot. In the summer times, because Coach Danbrock was there.
Right.
So, so I've known him. I met him. We've had we had some button heads a few times when we first met. Like for instance, one example, one quick story. We're playing open gym, and this is my freshman year. And he comes, this is top LeBron. No, LeBron is everywhere. Like, he's the one he wants. So he's partying on this thing, and this is his party years. Even though he still parties, but this is really crazy. Yeah. So he comes in, basically, King James is an understatement how he's treated. He is spoiled so much, like he literally has princess syndrome now. So wherever he goes, it's his way. It just is. And what makes me so mad is that you have other guys around who just accept it. And I'm looking at them like, dude, I don't care who you are. Like, I'm just not gonna, I don't know where you grew up, but now Romeo Travis, which is one of his best friends, now he's cool. He's a guy who understands, he's OG, I like to call him. Okay. He's OG. LeBron, he can't, he doesn't fight his own fights. It's like, dude, you talk this game, can't back it up. Even though you're big, you can't, you can't fight. Like, he avoids fights for a reason. Like, dude, it doesn't compute with me. We grew up in Keysport. Like, it doesn't compute with me.
Sit up from the point. You gotta earn that one.
Seriously. That's how, listen, I dunked on him too. Even though he dunked on me back. But it's like, I have that no fear with him. Like, I don't care who you are. And this has happened with numerous superstars I've met. KG, Kobe, even though Kobe's a little bit different. No, Kobe was, that man is insane. But, it's, with LeBron, it's just like he expects everything to go his way. And when it doesn't, it's just everyone else's fault. And I'm like, and you can see it through his teams. You can see the chaos. That's why some people like it. Of course, it's a blessing.
So when you dunked on him, was there film?
Oh man, no, I was up the gym. No, trust me. He would not have, at that time, he would not have let that go. Yeah. There was no way. If that was recorded, he would have deleted it.
Yeah.
Because, he this is my observation. Like, he lacks a masculinity with himself. And I can see it for the fact that he isn't okay with accepting whatever comes with it. Like I said, when Kobe lost, it's my fault. Next year we got it. And he goes out and gets it. Mm-hmm. That's what, to me, a real man does. It's like, it ain't about what you're saying, it's about what you're doing. And when you quit, like he did in a few playoffs, it's like, dude, I can't put you in that category when you're just quitting. It's like and what makes me so mad is you have people, you have kids who are looking up to you. And then I see it in the kids, how they're crying. And it's like, and now.
What made him quit though? I'm a Melo fan, by the way.
No, I'm just saying, what made him quit because it got too hard. When adversity hits, because that's the curse of being as blessed as he is. He was so blessed most of his life, like, he hit the genetic lottery in every way, shape, or form. Right. Like, I thought I hit it. He hit it.
But it's from HGH, you said, though.
Well, no, not that. No. He has genetic gifts to have the body, like, dude. And when I was playing him in that open gym, this dude was on my tail with the ball in his hands at 6'8", 265, and could jump as high as I could. Dude, I could legitimately, okay, I can see why he's dominating. Right. You can't stop the man. Right. You can't. I'm trying to block him. This dude, after I dunked on him, the next play, he comes down. I am at the half court line, and he jumps darn near from about one step in from the foul line, because we're both on for jumpers.
Right.
I jump. I'm about to take this ball in his hands, because I'm not afraid. This dude, with the ball control he had, this dude moved the ball like this, and then dunked. I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself,
do that, right?
to have the body control, which is what made LeBron so good back when he was playing. Like, the body control he has when he's in the air is insane. And I'm like, dude. I was there, and I'm like, and he just moved it. Like, it was so simple. I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, you know what? Of course, it was payback for the dunk I did on, because it was a tip, it was a rebound. I jumped over him. I'm like, you're just going to just catch that ball like someone's going to let you get it?
Right.
Because we thought he was playing that way, all nonchalant, like he's just going to do, like, I don't got time. I can't respect the man like this. So I can't. So I just started attacking him. And of course, he was better than me. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, but I ain't gonna show no fear to him. Right. But the thing is that when you saw that in the NBA where people stopped showing fear to him, then he started losing. And it's like, see, Kobe would answer that differently. Mike Jordan would definitely answer that differently. You're the only one who says, you know what? I don't take time off. It's like, you realize your salary is based on you playing and being and you entertaining the fans, right? Like, that's why they're paying you. And that's actually, and he started this entire trend, which is why the NBA is so weak right now. And you're seeing the Europeans come over and they're crushing everywhere. Yeah. As MVPs, 3-4, and Europeans. And I've been watching that since I was overseas. Because they approach the game way differently than we do. We're so talented over here.
Talk about, because out of Akron, you went to the G League and then you went overseas from
there.
But talk about the business side of that, because, like, if I'm not mistaken, your mom managed your career, didn't she?
Yeah, that was a big mistake.
How did that work out? Why did you make that decision, and how did that work out?
I made that decision originally because, one, I thought my mom had my back, and this is not the bash my mom. Like, at the end of the day, she, like, knowing what I know now, my mom just.
That's too much.
Yeah, she doesn't have the insight like I do now.
Right.
Like,
you don't know.
She doesn't know how to. Right. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, I have an issue with it, but I get it. Right. But the business side, I let my mom do it because I had to focus on basketball. I knew I wasn't gonna guarantee NBA get drafted. Like, so the fact that I'm not guaranteeing a draft pick makes you, same thing with you. When you were in Connecticut, same thing. You got to work hard. So in my mind, I'm thinking I can't. That's why you didn't see me post a lot on social media. I can't focus on social media right now. I have to focus on me doing my job and doing it well. And I did. At college, every year I improved and I'm better and better.
Right.
But when it comes to the professional, this is the curse that most black families go through. It's that, see, when you lack and you're dealing with lack and there's an opportunity right there that all your troubles could be solved. See, that's when you have to be the most careful. And unfortunately, that's not how it happened. My mom picked the wrong. My mom influenced me on the agent I picked. My mom influenced me on the type of training I was doing. It was all bad. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so upset I followed it. It's like, I mean, not just even not my mom has done a few bad choices when it comes to me getting into the NBA. So, and that's not just my mom. I watched this happen to so many parents. I watched parents destroy opportunities for their kids.
Because they don't know. That's simple. They don't know for the most part.
Well, because they've
never really been there.
I think they do. I think what it really comes down to is the fact that they vicariously live through their children. And that's the issue, is the fact that you believe that you are entitled to your child's sex. In a way, you kind of are, because it's your progeny. But that's their life you're controlling here. So when you are, as my mom did, when you're negotiating, and she's thinking it's all about me, because that's really what most parents do. It's all about them. It's like Kevin Durant. Oh yeah, my mom. It's like, yeah, your mom was important. Your mom was there to nurture you when you needed to, but that thinking, that type of power, it comes with, well, now it's more selfishness. And that's not, I think 80% is what I see. I see a lot more selfishness. I see a lot more decisions being made for their benefit, not for the kids' benefit.
Right.
Because for the most case, like every time I hear, oh, we need to leave this AAU team, go somewhere else. It's yours, it's on you, it ain't him, it's you. You're the one who wants him to leave. What if he actually needs to get better and earn that spot? But the moment you make him leave and then you convince him, oh, don't worry about it, he doesn't know what he's talking about, you are screwing that kid up. Because the moment you get to college, which is what always happens, when you get to college, you're screwed. Because now real adversity hits you. And your parents can't help you no more. And then you think it's bad in college, it gets even worse in the pros. So it's like, it just gets worse.
Because you mentioned that, like, because I watch your videos, and you mentioned like the foundation for being able to fight adversity.
Yeah.
And the parents that raise their kids to not be able to handle that whenever they get to college.
Well, you notice that most parents who do well with this are former professional athletes.
Right.
Any former professional athlete realize you don't say nothing. You just sit there and watch. They might give him some tips on the end, but for the most part, they allow the coach to do what he needs to do. And all your job should be is to support and guide. That's it. Let the coach focus on what he needs to focus on, and you talk to the coach if there's something that might be a bother. Hey, maybe let's say I had a kid. Well, I've been working on his handles at home. Can we make this work? That's how you're able to do that in the back end as athlete parents. You're never supposed to directly focus on your child. Like, no, he needs to develop, especially, and this is what I've always said, and I say in my videos, depending on what their goals are. What if they don't want to be a pro, especially in the black community? What if they want to be a pro? Well, you want to force them to play anyway? I mean, guess what happened to me? I didn't develop a love for basketball until my junior year in college. Because I felt like I was forced to play. It's like, and then, of course, you always saw, I played well, but man, if I had my dad, if I could focus, if I had to the point where I had a more healthy relationship with my dude, I'm guaranteed the first round draft pick, almost guaranteed. Yeah, I developed my entire game on my own. And I beat it despite the odds, but most kids can't do that. It's they're focusing on their parents believing they're looking out for their best interest, and they're not. They're looking out for their own. Like I said, my mom got approached the same way these NIL guys are getting approached. I was about to go to Blackhawk. They were going to pay for housing. They were going to give my mom a job. My mom, let's go to Blackhawk. I said, no, I don't want to go to Blackhawk. I want to go to Keysport because a few friends I do have, I didn't have many friends. I was bullied a lot when I was a kid. Many friends I do have, they're in Keysport. I'm playing here.
Right.
And she got me, I'm like, I don't care. Like it's my choice. Like,
right.
Now, luckily I had that little autonomy then, but most kids can't say no to their kid to their mom. Oh, it's my mom, man. I got it.
Yeah.
To me, it's very unhealthy, especially as a man, because as a man, you have to go out on your own. You have to understand how to evaluate trust, how you trust people, how you deal with people. It's different. And when you're in, I think the biggest issue for our community is that we don't have fathers. That's the biggest issue, is that we don't have fathers.
Right.
Our fathers are designed to hold those type of moral guidelines and structure in place for how we live our lives. And of course, it can be hard on you. I'm sure you're doing it as you guys have children of your own. And and that same thing with my brother. Like I want to be there. It's like, cool, you should.
Right.
It's just, and you bring in a man's take when it comes to it. But then, if you're not okay with yourself, then you're going to be unfortunately teaching those same morals to your kids. Like I said, I'm very upfront about it, but that's why, to me, ignorance is so it's so destructive. That's why I've traveled. That's why I learned as much as I have. That's why I've studied the way I have. I understand as a black man, yeah, ignorance will kill you very easily, and it's already look at our community.
Right.
It's already destroying it. And if you who do know some stuff, just take advantage of others, which is basically what Black Lives Matter represent. Everyone was okay with Black Lives Matter for a minute. Now I realize that they're just taking your money just like they did back when Rodney King got killed. Same thing. All that. It's the same exact thing. It's the same model. It's, oh yeah, we gotta support the black people. Invest in us, guys, invest in us. And they buy mansions and then they just let you guys go, and then guess who's left and holding the bag? Yeah. We are. Less money, less knowledge, ignorant, sheep, just following whatever everyone else tells us. No, I'm just trying to make my mark here and be a positive influence for our communities, because God, man, we need it. It's so bad. Right, and I'm afraid with the NIL now. Like I was going to wait about a year to do this, but now I was like, nah, I gotta do it now. Yeah. I have to build this course now. I was like, we gotta understand branding and why it's so important and how you can tie it into social media. That's basically what my course is gonna talk about. Because these, God, it's the parents I'm worried about the most. Yeah. Because these kids are minors. It's like they're gonna go after you, and if you don't know better, then you're gonna sign them away, and it's gonna be bad. Exactly. I was like, I don't want that to happen. So I love seeing what y'all guys are doing with Key Sport. It's so good to see. Bro. Seriously, I love it. It's like that's actually why I wanted to. Once this course is finished, I want to partner with you guys for it. Yeah, just so I can bring it into. Cause I'm gonna this is gonna be my business. So I don't need to work when I need to. But for you guys, I'm lowering the price a little bit lower because I know how Key Sport is, but I need them to get this information now. Right. Because we all know how parents in their social media IQ is. Right. And when they don't know, and I keep seeing it. I just keep seeing opportunities where these agents, these vultures go after the parents. Oh, I can help your kid expose them out and give them marketing. I'm like, no. Like, that is a conversation you have when you're a senior in college. That's when you start having that. Now you gotta have it in a senior in high school.
That's why the one event we had, we invited the parents.
Yes, so important. It's so important. The parents have to be involved, because they are the first line of defense. And it's like, and if you don't do it, they're vulnerable. Like, whether they see or not, but what I know what's going to get them is the money. They're going to see $1 million, and they're going to say, take it, we're going to take it. And then it's just going to, and then he's going to be, who knows what these contracts are. I haven't seen any of them yet. I know because each company is forging their own contracts. Some of these contracts have 7 years, 8 years. I'm like, exactly. I'm like, they're holding you hostage for 8 years. And I'm not saying it could be for a brand that you like. Let's say Wiz, and you like Wiz, and you want to believe in what Wiz do, his new mixtape. That's what he's doing. But right now, the 13 athletes he has, who got his under his NIL deal, you are a walking billboard for his mixtape. If you believe in his mixtape, cool. But if you don't, well, you're locked in now. You can't do anything about it. Right. And
some stuff is just as simple as post this once a week on your
It could
IG.
be. Yeah, it could be. But then it can also be as strict as, and this is what it means when you're signing contracts. Same thing with student loans, same thing. It's like, you must understand what you're giving up and what value you bring. And that's ultimately what I would say life mission, but that's what my message is supposed to represent. You need to understand what your brand is. And once you understand what your brand is and how and why it's important, your voice will be able to speak your mind and say whatever you mean. And then people who believe in the same message you do are going to follow you. And then they'll follow you to the ends of the earth. And you see this. I mean, of course, you have a lot of dumb examples.
Talk about the course. Talk about the course that you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for me it's a 3-part course for me. The first one is we're going to talk about brand management. It's like brand management, branding, how it ties in, why it's important, all of it. Like, understanding your brand is so important if you want to have any type of career outside of college. Actually, no, outside of high school now, because now college is going to be for profit. I already know they are. So now that they're offering all this money, what most kids and parents don't understand is that the moment you bring money into it, well, now it's what value do you bring money-wise. So if you don't understand the business, which most pro athletes these days don't even understand, you're going to get, it's only a matter of time before you're getting fired. And that's what keeps happening. Like most professional athletes who play overseas don't last more than 2 years. It's the reason why they don't last more than 2 years. They'll come to Saudi Arabia, they'll play me, I'll crush them. Next time I play them, they ain't there no more.
Right.
That happens to you two, 3 times, you don't want to play no more. I almost quit because of it. That's why I had to stop playing, because I kept losing my job just as much. But, that's why I had to, okay, well, how do I tackle this the other way? Well, okay, I just become more, get my brand bigger. Become more marketable, get more people on my side who will buy my tickets and jerseys and apparels. Well, now that's mine. And I can go to any company and say, well, this is what I have. What do you got? And especially if you want to be a professional basketball player, most of these clubs, especially now after COVID, about what? I think 35% of organizations went bankrupt. So now all these new clubs are come up. They have no money, have no fans. I have 100,000 of them. You can pay me for it. That's how you have to move. And you have to be that vicious with these vultures. If you don't understand, they will take advantage of you so quick. Like, I can't tell you how many opportunity and situations I've seen overseas where, well, they didn't pay me my money. Did you quit after one day? Yeah, well, that's why. You realize the 21-day grace period? The fact that you just quit on the second day, and I wrote this on my video. When you quit after the second day? Well, now they have evidence. Right. Now they just hold it and wait and get everything they can out of you. And then when they can't do it no more, oh yeah, no, we don't owe you anything. And then you don't have 4 grand to take them to court anyway. You did want to take them to court because it costs money to do litigation. So, okay, bye. And you'll go back, you'll get mad. Oh, it's terrible. They didn't pay me. And that's actually what happened with Tunisia. The moment I signed, I had a guy who played there last year. Hey man, you gotta be careful with these guys. Of course, he was right in a way, but the thing is, one of the ways I was able to counteract that was my business sense. I said, okay, you're gonna do this, or, I can take this to FIBA. And I said, I can take this to FIBA. I got 5 grand. I ain't like these guys. I got the money. I'll take you to court. And not only will I take you to court and take that 11 grand you owe me, I'll add another 6,000 because you didn't even sign off on the contract you already gave me. So now I'll have 18 grand. You want to go there? And next day, guess what they did? Pay me my money. And they made me sign off. I was like, yo, there you go. Yeah. See, that's how you must understand business when you're playing professionally. Most guys don't. Most guys, it just happens because how good they are basketball-wise. And all teams are going good, like Golden State, everything's fine. But when we're losing, like some of these other guys in the West right now who aren't going too well, guarantee you don't see those same guys on their team no more. Right. Yeah, disappearing, getting traded, you don't hear about it, but they're gone. That's how fast it happens because it's all about the money. So for me to realistically get into the NBA, I gotta become marketable. And that's my key. That's another reason why I'm doing this. If I get $500, there's one guy right now on YouTube who used to be a basketball player. He's trying to get back. He has 1.4 million subscribers. I watched this dude try to get back in shape. This dude had Orlando Magic's one of the biggest trainers. Like, I knew the guy because I met him when I was playing on Magic. This dude, I couldn't even imagine this dude was probably doing that workout for free just because of how much his viewership on YouTube was going to get.
Right.
Like, that just opened the door for him. He hasn't played basketball in 3 years. Yeah. He goes in just because of his million subscribers. Hey man, can you work me out? I got my team and crew back here. He gonna say yeah because it's gonna make him valuable. Mm-hmm. That's how you have to flip on your head. That's how you have to think. Not even just basketball, football, everything. That's why they're paying you. They're paying you because you sell tickets. How do you keep selling tickets? Well, become more authentic. Allow your fans to know more about you. Of course, you curate that. That's what YouTube's for. You edit things out. You say what you want to say. You do what you want to do. Da, 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 da. But you get them to see the real you. That is what everyone used to love about me in the key sport. When I was on ESPN Rise, what they say, he's not the typical superstar because he loves video game. There you go. That's an example of what I'm referring to. I was probably one of the only kids back then who had like a 3.4 GPA and loved love computer games, which is why they put me on that cover of that magazine. But like that's how you gain. That alone got me a lot more people who understood who I was. Right. And that's an example. It's like you just become authentic of who you are, whatever that may be. If it's video games, if it's basketball, if it's, I love all types of stuff, anime, gaming. Like I have so much audience just because a lot of people who think professional athlete don't think anime or don't think video games. I got so much viewers just from my Twitch channel when I was doing it in 2014. Just because I would say, oh, you play professional basketball? You're in Belgium? Oh my God! What's your name? Can I look at? Like, it just happens and it keeps growing and growing. So that's an example. They're able to see other sides of you. So to me, that's why YouTube's powerful. And that YouTube, and not just saying YouTube, because as you're building these videos, you're posting them on YouTube. You don't need to just do YouTube. You can do Facebook too. I'm probably going to do Rumble, YouTube, and TikTok. I don't like TikTok too much, but TikTok is probably one of the best ways of grabbing engagement when it comes to engagement and how long a user's on the app. So that's the metric that all these companies go on. TikTok is the most right now. Even though I think it's going to get banned soon, that's why I want to use it before it gets banned, because like I have a feeling it will, just because I know what's happening in China right now. So it's like that's kind of how you have to get eyes on it. And then as you get more eyes, you bring them all into whatever digital home you have. That's your website, that's your course, that's your, as we call the funnel, sales funnel, whatever that may be. Create that funnel, and then once it becomes big enough, that is what the NIL wants. That's basically what they want. Why they're going after these kids? Because they know when you get to the University of Kentucky, you're going to have 400, 500, millions of people who are going to follow that kid, right. Which always happens. And that's what they're banking on. And they're banking on getting you now and paying $20 million instead of waiting later and then having to pay 80 right. When you become like a Zion. Like Zion, I didn't like using Zion because Zion, when he was in North Carolina, dude, like when they played Duke, the most sold out thing. Zion
played North Carolina. He went to Duke.
Yo, I'm sorry. Yeah. When they played North Carolina, yeah. When Duke played North Carolina, it had the most viewed game in history. I mean, in college, like it was insane. So for that, it's like imagine how much that's worth. Like, unfortunately, NCAA ain't getting that guy no more because right. That guy's going to the G League, which is that 18-year-old 7'3" European right now. Yeah. So he's in the G League. He ain't in college. Right. He's in the G League. So all those superstars are now going to G League now. So, and they're going to get paid the way they do. So that marketing and that marketability, NBA is trying to take for themselves. And like I say, NCAA has lost the ball because they got drunk on power, like they call it. They decided not to innovate, they decided not to care about their athletes, and now those top tier athletes for their 1 year, 1 year and done, so they can get their little grubby hands on that marketing money that they love so much. Mm-hmm. Well, now they're going to G League. Now they ain't going to you no more. Now what are you going to do? And over the time, it's going to get worse, especially as more money comes in, because then the bigger schools just going to dominate. And when they do, people are going, I miss the old days. Like, yeah, it's NCAA's fault.
I mean, that's how it's going to go down. And we talked about this before, like the mid-level schools are going to become like the new JUCOs, mm-hmm. right? Kids are going to start going there to, show that they can play, and then they'll transfer up to the bigger schools because
it will, for at least in the beginning. I think what will end up happening is you're going to have guys like me who think outside the box, who will say, well, I want to do what Steph Curry did. I want to go to Davidson. I mean, that's why I went to Akron. It's one of the reasons why I went. Because I knew if I would have got to the Sweet 16, I was a guaranteed first round draft pick. There was no, if I take Akron to Sweet 16, I would draft it. So that's what Stephen Curry did. And Stephen, I remember when he was in school, I thought he had no chance just because how small he was. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, of course, the game has changed so much for his favor. But, back in when we were growing up, we had monsters in the NBA. Right. He wasn't going to survive, and he didn't. He could shoot well. But when they got into him, the Andre Millers, Jason Kidd, boy, he wasn't able to do anything. Mm-hmm. As he matured and got better, and of course the calls got a little bit easier, and they made defense a lot less. No one cares about defense as much as they used to anymore. Then it got easier for him. But as I said, for the most part, some guys are going to start doing that, and if they take the advice I'm bringing in now, they have a YouTube channel. They have 500,000 subscribers. There is one guy right now in Pittsburgh. Kid, he was he's in the junior. I think he's a junior in high school. And I remember working out with him. He had a TikTok with about 40,000 followers. And as he was getting a little bigger, he got mentioned in the Post Gazette. Mm-hmm. Just small things like that. Right. It's like he's only 40,000. That's not bad. Mm-hmm. Decent job. Okay. Yeah, but that's just the thing. Is that you're going to get some of these kids who are authentic in a way that will captivate audiences, and that alone, he can go wherever he wants and get the money because now he has his own brand, and that's where I think Gen X or Gen Z. I say Gen Z is really good at this too. They have that understanding because they live through social media. We're the ones who are caught in this weird middle ground.
Right.
A lot of us still think social media is something like, no, I don't want to be on social media no more.
Social media runs the world.
Dude, like, I'm like, do you realize you need to put your business on social media? Like, that's how you create online businesses. That's why, like, for instance, that's why I can travel when I want. I can go to Dominican right now and still do, like, I just went with a brokerage, because I'm still in real estate. I went to a brokerage that's complete virtual. Well, now, okay, well, I need social media to be able to advertise. I can't do that walking around with business cards.
Right.
It's like, you need to have an online presence. How you curate that is the key. It's what are you posting? Most people post emotionally. They post. It's like Twitter. They don't think. They just post something, and then it's out there, and they don't understand that it doesn't work out. And of course, a lot of their knowledge is rudimentary too. I have a nephew right now who's in Butler playing football, doing very well. I think he finally got. He's starting to get major schools on him now. And I'm talking to his my stepbrother. Brother-in-law. Not his brother-in-law. Brother-in-law. But and I'm telling him how to help my nephew, and he doesn't even understand. He posts stuff. He uses Facebook, and I'm like, he'll post like so. Like for instance, one of the things that a lot of people do on Facebook is they'll take YouTube clips and put them on Facebook. Facebook doesn't like that, and they will drop you on the algorithm because they don't want YouTube on there. If you're going to post something on Facebook, it needs to be authentic on Facebook. So take the video and put it on Facebook. Don't connect to YouTube, especially TikTok, which is why they put that watermark there. So you always know it's TikTok, which is genius for how they did that. But anything like that, and you post it on Facebook, they will immediately drop you in the algorithm. Immediately. Just because they don't want you posting YouTube's clips on Facebook. Like they want Facebook on Facebook.
Right.
They are competitors. So, and that's happening in every single almost every company. YouTube does it. Well, YouTube doesn't do it as much. YouTube's so big, they don't care.
How do you grow your YouTube following if you don't post it on other platforms?
Well, I'm not saying you don't post it on other platforms. Posting on other platforms, I would focus on YouTube. And like, I believe TikTok.
How do you sell your YouTube? Like, if I want you to go look at my YouTube, how do I tell you in a social media aspect?
Well, realistically, what you would do is you would take out and this is where it comes marketing strategy comes in. What I would do is that I create a YouTube video like this. This is a good example. I'll take out clips because, of course, shorts, because people's attention span is so small. Everyone's talking about doing shorts now. Well, I'll start breaking things up and finding good clips of me saying something or you saying something nice, and you toss that in a clip. Post that on Facebook. Post that on stuff.
Without the link.
Yeah. You take that raw video and you put it on Facebook. Because at that point, what most people do is they take the link of TikTok and try to repost it on Facebook. Like, no, that's not. If you do that, then they're just going to drop down the algorithm because they're going to promote their stuff. Right. You got to think on Facebook and what they want. They have AIs and all this type of stuff now. So when you're thinking about what a business wants, they don't want you posting TikTok on, and that's the big issue I had when I first started. I started trying to share my YouTube channel on Facebook, wasn't getting any traction at all. Right. The moment I put it on, I didn't get a lot, I got like 50 viewers, but when I had YouTube, it was 0. So there's an element of you need to understand that you're the brand, and these are just tools. YouTube's a tool, Facebook's a tool, TikTok's a tool. You post that stuff on it. I would focus on one because it is difficult to learn all the different ones unless you're one of these 18-year-old kids who just knows SEO, which is what we call now. Like SEO. Unless you know SEO that well and you can just know how to post it, then no. But best way to do that, honestly, is just post on YouTube. YouTube has a community tab now. I would keep it on YouTube. There's 3.4 billion people on YouTube. That's half the population. And to me, it's like, if you're looking for the best outreach, that's how you want to get it. And as long as you follow the YouTube algorithm, as they call it, it'll end up growing. And it doesn't take much. It's just, the biggest issue is one, it's in a weird way consistency, especially in the beginning. You have to be consistent because if you, let's say, this happened to me with my YouTube videos. People are following this, say I have a video every Tuesday, Thursday. and it's trying to grow. Well, I need those people who subscribe to me to watch, so the algorithm can get more people to show.
Right.
But if I stop, then they're gonna think, oh well, I mean, I guess he's not posting videos no more, and they'll forget, and the YouTube algorithm is gonna drop you down too, because like, okay, well, he's not posting no more, we're done.
Right.
And then it's over, and then they're gonna post stuff that they like. But it's not saying that something can't go viral. It can. And let's say you have a TikTok, and let's say you post something on TikTok, and you can very easily say, well, I have a YouTube channel, or I have a TikTok channel, and you can start creating these tunnels where you have a TikTok tunnel, a YouTube tunnel, and you can turn it on to Patreon or locals, and where you can have a little subscription base, which is what I'm planning on doing. That's why I want to create my own website. I will have all the subscription stuff inside, so anyone who wants to invest in me directly, you can invest in me into my platform, and then these are just platforms that will grow the overall brand. So remember, you're the brand, ain't the YouTube, ain't the Facebook, it's you. Your goal is to get the message out. It's how more effectively do you do that? And like I said, unfortunately for us, millennials in particular, and parents, they just don't know this. NIL people, they know it. And that's why they're attacked. That's why I think they're so aggressive. Because they're trying to get these kids before it's too late. And I'm like, and I just, it bothers me because that's what I went through. And it's like, I don't like that, because I know that most people aren't fiscally responsible and don't understand what they're really giving up when it comes to that brand.
Right.
Because if he gets big and you have a 7-year contract, well, what do you do?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what it is.
Yeah. Now you've given up your brand, which means you can't say what you want to say. You can't invest in what you want to invest in. You have to go by him because he's paying you. And that's what your contract. It's the same thing with student loans, which is what baffles me when people get upset about it. It's like, you sounded out of line, whether you understood that or not. That's what it means to get a loan. I'm not saying it's right. I know it's predatory. But that's why I told my sister, if you're not in STEM, you ain't going to university. There's no reason to. Why? If you're not going for science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or becoming a doctor, if you're not going for those, why are you in college? Like, in a real sense. That's why I love the fact you got your master's. I hope you didn't take out too much debt for it. But for the most part, people will take out $200,000 in debt for a communications degree.
Right.
And now you're mad you didn't get there's too many degrees. And then of course they destroy trades. Like, I'm looking for, I worked with a guy I know in Washington. He paid me $90 an hour just to paint for 4 days. $90 an hour. It's like,
that's because you can reach the silver.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Ain't gonna find us too many other places, big dog.
no, you're right. It just, but for me, it's like $90 an hour. It's like, in my mind, and that's what I told my sister. I said, dude, learning and money ain't the same thing. Making money and going to university are not the same thing. Sometimes they can be linked, but most times they're not. If I want to be a marine biologist, like, I can go study marine biology.
Right.
Is there a lot of jobs for marine biologists? I mean, maybe these days because of global warming and what's happening in China right now with all the fish dying. There are probably some experts that go look at that and say, okay, how can we fix our habitats because all these fish die because of the drought? Okay, maybe that can work. But if there's 500 million communication degrees, well, how are you going to pay back $500,000 loan now?
Right.
And now you want governments to pay it off. And you never want to do that because then you give them more power. And as you give them more power, they're never going to give it to you back. And that's what a lot of people have understood with COVID. They're going to give that power back. And that's why I'm lucky enough to be able to travel when I want to. So when all this shit started going, when it shakes the fan, I can go to the Dominican or I can go to Dubai. And I can just get away from it altogether. But most people who don't have the insight I do don't know that.
Right.
They don't know they can leave, or most can't leave anyway, just because they are in jail financially. You're in debt. You're in so much debt that you can't leave. You're in so much, and this is what the Andrew Tate talks about. He's past all that, and that's what gives him that freedom. Is that you can shut down bank accounts. I'm still making, as he just mentioned, I'm still making $5 million a month. I'll put it into my banks in Romania. What? You're gonna shut me? You're gonna cancel me now? How you gonna cancel me? Like, you can't cancel me. And that's the difference. What he says is that you get to a pinnacle, a point to eventually. Yeah, you can shut down all the systems around you, which is what they did to Kanye. You cut down his Chase, Apple, everything. You shut down everything. I do think he's going through an extremely hard time. He's probably stressed out of his mind. Probably not helping the fact that you can definitely tell how much he loves his kids. Then you have Kim K, and it's like drama that goes with all that. I'm sure he's going through a lot. but he has the power to lead as well. Like, yeah, everyone's talking about, oh yeah, Yeezy ain't busting, this nothing. Like, you think that's gonna break him? Well, okay, don't get me wrong, he's going through some shit right now. But I guarantee he'll use that as motivation to create some stupid album that's going to destroy, completely revolutionize everything. And everyone's like, oh, he's back. It's like, dude, like, it's one of the things he mentioned, so that's why they're trying to attack him.
Right.
They don't want people to think for themselves. And that's what makes it so dangerous, is that when you think for yourself, the powers that be they want you to be ignorant, especially blacks,
right?
Because they use you. I mean, that's how. I'm not big on politics, but it involves politics, geopolitics, economics, macroeconomics. All of it relates to the same thing. It's about people who have power and people who don't, and people who have the understanding of, let's say that you have the Titanic and the dinghy ship. The dinghy ship can move a lot more easier than the Titanic can. That's how we win. That's what bothered me about Black Lives Matter. I'm like, we finally have the entire nation on our side now. Let's just put everything away. Get these guys. They feel sorry for us? All right. How about I want you to invest in Black Wall Street. You pay us. That's how I'm thinking. That's how you get it back. Get their money, create your foundation, and then throw them away. I don't need you no more. And that's why they bombed Black Wall Street the first time, because they're not in their system no more. So you can't control them no more. And any government tyrannical force wants control. And unfortunately now we're going through such a different age in the world right now. There's a lot of authoritarians. Democrats are authoritarians. China has an authoritarian regime with Xi Jinping, and of course you already know what's happening in Russia. Like, that's what happens when you have someone who has absolute power.
Right.
So now he doesn't care. That's why they call being selfish is so evil. So he doesn't care about what happens to his Russian citizens. He doesn't care. He cares about, don't get me wrong, the West has a lot to do with why he's at war, because we antagonized him. But it's like, he's going to go to war and destroy his country doing it, and he is. That country will go bankrupt in less than a year.
What did you major in at Akron?
IT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Listen, all this I've learned because me learning all this makes me a better investor.
Now, what you know now is that, would you still have the same major, get your degree in the same subject?
Hold on, Zeke.
Yeah, you're good. Oh man, I'm not sure. Honestly, it's like I actually got.
I want to say that.
No, you're right. I just think it's like, man, it's a question, but we'll see. You good? Mm-hmm. All right.
So, like, knowing what you know now, would you still have that same major if you had to go back?
Probably not.
No?
Probably not. I love IT. Don't get me wrong. I love tech. But I wasn't sure how I was supposed to get into it. I was fascinated by computer science. I still am. But like when I went to the university, like the IT I was in was Cisco. So that's networking. So it's getting your device to the internet. That's basically what my job was.
All right.
I'm cool with that, but not really.
Yeah.
Like I'm gaming. Okay, networking's good. You can make a lot of money with networking. Don't get me wrong. You can make a lot of money even today with that. But that's not what I enjoy. It's like I was more in the sense of, to me, tech meant the internet to me. In gaming, in video games, all that stuff is tech. It's technology, and I wanted to be in the cutting edge of it. And that's what got me to go in for IT.
Yeah.
Like I chose getting into IT once I was playing emulators on my computer in 4th grade. That's what got me in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm able to play Nintendo on my computer.
So you knew from the jump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of my criteria.
So you went into Akron knowing like, all right, this is gonna be my major.
Nope.
So you didn't have no.
Nope.
Okay.
Though if I went back, I'll probably just go complete business. That's because it's like, I do have an associate's in business actually.
Okay.
So like it worked out in a weird way, but like I have a sense of, I'm so over analytical. It's easy for me to analyze the business strategies, and as I've gotten, it's been hidden because I've been so focused on basketball. But now I have to blend the two.
Yeah.
That is how you ensure a long career. You got to understand both sides, as I said in my video earlier. It's like you got to understand there's a business in the basketball side or a business in the sports side. You got to understand the business. You got to understand why they're paying you money, how they're paying it, where they're getting their money from. Problem with overseas in basketball, it's most of it's sponsors. And we all know how sponsors are. If they're sponsoring something, okay, they're going to want their money, like then and there. If you lose, they're going to lose their minds anyway. It's like, okay, well, if I can ensure that your brands will make money, you shut up. And they, of course, they'll shut up. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's how you make it easier, because it's stressful. I mean, I'm sure you had a good taste of it. It's stressful.
You know, and me, I can talk about for hours about finance. I love finances because it's an economy is a facilitation of goods and services. That's what money is. It's a tool to get goods and or services. Yeah. So, what goods or services do you need? And this is why, as a financial advisor, I would say, well, what does retirement look for you? What does it look like? Do you know? Do you know how much it will cost? No, most people don't even think about it. Right. So you need to, like, that's how you. That's why when people think money, it's like once you get, like, as educators will say, once you get rich enough, money is nothing. Right. And in a weird way, I almost treat money that way, even though I ain't got a lot right now. To me, I'm spending money on investing in things I know will work out later, and I don't care if it will cost me. I mean, that's basically why I've been losing so much, because I've been taking all these opportunities to try to take risks on situations like me trying to become a financial advisor, me trying to do this, me trying to do this. I'm spinning and spinning. Though I know that at the end of the day, it's that once I learn how to earn, and that's basically it's not gonna matter no more. Yeah. So that's really when it comes to when you talk about financial responsibility, it's ensure how much do you need. You know, one of the things I would say is, okay, well, how much does it cost per month to live how you want to live? You know, can you identify a number? Most can't identify because most are afraid to track their finances because they're afraid to look at their finances because they know it's going to be real bad. It doesn't matter what it is. The first step is informing you what your finances is, because you don't realize just how much you spend. Like a good portion, 20-25%. Almost any time I meet someone, I can say, well, let's use this. Are you using that? Netflix is a good thing. Like even me, I do it. I have a game, RuneScape. I still play. I'm still playing monthly for it. Haven't touched the game about 9 months. Wow. It's like, but I'm paying for it. And now I'm doing that purposely just because I like that game and I know I'm going to play eventually. And I don't mind paying a company that much money. And eventually I won't need to pay them because I'm rich enough in games just buy bonds. But at the end of the day, it's like that's what's happening. That's useless spending. I don't need to spend it.
What's the name of this game?
RuneScape. Oh, that's an old game. Yeah.
What's this? That's on a computer.
PC. Yeah, everything's PC. I'm all PC.
I'm from The Sims.
No, I hear you. Listen, I'm away from consoles. I went away from consoles a long time ago.
The Sims, you got the green little thing on the head.
It actually kind of plays like
Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yeah.
Those games are fun, man. Simtown,
Bubble Shooter.
Oh my god, man. Oh, that Counter-Strike.
Yeah, to wrap this up, man, we jumped right into it. We didn't even do an introduction, man.
The conversation so deep.
We jumped right into it. I think it was dope, man. But we do have Zeke Marshall on.
This is Zeke.
You know, McKee Sport, Akron, you know, professional basketball player.
Pacers?
I was with the 76ers for summer league. Then I went with I was with the Celtics during preseason. And then they put me into the G League when I ended up playing for the Maine Red Claws. Yeah. And after that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to see I can't. Because I was making only $13,000 in. I was like, I'm not. This is too small. I was like, I can't justify me coming here. And then they weren't playing me. I was like,
yeah. So what countries have you visited real quick?
Okay.
That you played in, I should say.
All right, I played, I'll say, all right, we'll go in order. We'll say, I had my first one was Taiwan. Then I came back to the States. Then I went to Belgium. Then I went to Dubai. Then I went to Saudi Arabia. Then I went to Lebanon. Then I went to France. What else did I play at? Canada. I played in Canada too. Tunisia, of course. Also played in Dominican. Yeah. I played in Dominican. Hey, that's the one you guys see. I posted stuff on there. Yeah, like those are the major ones. I said most of my career has been in Saudi Arabia. I actually love the Middle East now. Like Saudi Arabia, like that's probably where I'm going to take my career at. If it's on the NBA, I'm going Middle East. Like, Middle East is poised to go through an economic breakthrough, and I'm trying to be there when as they liberalize. Because as they liberalize, there'll be more money, and with more money, I'm gonna. Hey,
Right.
Can you pay me a little bit more?
Yeah. It's a well-traveled man.
Yeah, well-traveled.
Talked a lot
for himself.
Right. Talked a lot about basketball. Talked a lot about finances. Talked a lot about branding, marketing. Talked a lot about.
I think it's important. It's very important.
So
also, he touched on the course he's creating.
Yeah.
Talked about his course that's creating.
I'm very big on trying to help what we have NIL, and so you guys talk about NIL a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
It's to me getting informed is going to be so important, especially focus on parents, because the kids already have social media. They just need to change how they think about social media. It's the only difference between most of these kids now. Like, these kids are on TikTok all the time. So it's not like they don't know this. It's the parents that need to understand this, because most of these guys are minors and don't understand finances. And of course, we all know how some of these parents don't understand finances, let alone understand marketing and branding. It's like, you have a very powerful key, and you must, as Peter Parker.
And that's why we keep it.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
And we keep the door open to all the parents out there and come to any event we have. You learn
this. It's good, yeah. I mean, and that's all. I see a few of you guys, seeing some of the parents, seeing the kids, especially around here. It's perfect. It's like we need to build up the Black community in a way where we need to inform them from the ground up. And as you guys learn and become more better at what you guys do through your podcast, you'll get even better. You'll be able to teach them how to do it. And that's one of the things I wanted to do when I was here, is give you some insight on how you can make your podcast bigger. Because I want your podcast to be big. We need more Black creators on YouTube.
Right.
Just like, and it's starting to grow. It's been growing for about a year and a half now. Been a lot of new Black creators coming in. And some have fallen. Kevin Samuels really paved the way for it. Because once he passed away, all these creators came out and used him as motivation to create their own channels.
Right.
And it's like, J.R. Smith is doing it, Matt Baldwin's is doing it. Now you're seeing some of these guys who left who are not going to get podcasts. I'm like,
yeah, you definitely put us on some game today.
yeah, listen.
Not just the audience, but myself and
that's too. That's what I want. It's like,
a lot of these questions was for me.
Seriously, I mean, that's the reason why I ultimately want to come to the podcast with you guys. Because I mean, no offense, I was watching you guys' podcast and just the production value is to grow the way I think you guys want to grow.
Right.
It's like, for instance, much I like the mics, eventually we're going to start investing in microphones. Like I have a Blue Yeti mic in my car. Invest in 2-3 mics. Invest in headphones so you can hear, be able to create, sound, create a studio for yourself.
Right.
Depending on how much you guys are willing to invest. That's what I'm planning on doing. Like once I get my home, because I'm trying to get a multi-unit, once I have one, I'm creating an entire studio. My range is going to be in the back. Like I'm going to be able to paint a picture to where I can show a podcast.
Right.
All a podcast is you talking. Yeah. Bill Burr, I love Bill Burr's podcast. He rambles on for hours. And everyone loves it.
Yeah.
And you can ramble on about things that needs to be talked about in our community though.
Right.
And it will grow even more and faster. It's just we don't, most of us don't even know about it.
Right.
Same thing like I mentioned with credit cards. Credit cards are so powerful. I love our credit cards. I pay no foreign transaction fee. That alone, me not paying for a transaction fee has saved me so much money. I wish I had before COVID because I didn't have my credit cards in. And I ended up paying, even what you're hearing about the airlines and everyone's getting canceled. If you have a credit card, they will subsidize you getting your hotel. They'll refund you depending on what credit card you have. Like if you got Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is a luxury brand, they'll subsidize everything for you because you are their client. Same thing with American Express, etc. So a lot of benefits, especially if we travel and do things, that credit cards can provide. So for someone like me who's traveling a lot, like all my points I have now is all for travel. I can literally go to Dominican and I pay it down. And that's what makes the power of credit cards. All credit cards are designed to do is to make the vendor, whoever you're swiping your card for, they get charged 2.25%. So that's why credit card companies throw credit cards at you. Because every time you swipe, they make money. So how do you make money? Okay, well, they have to fight for your business. The United States dollar and the United States consumer is the most richest consumer on the planet overall. So our spending power is what they want. They want your spending power. They want you to use their credit card to buy that $5,000 laptop than someone else's credit card. Because they'll make, $225 plus the $5,000 you're using, so you don't pay it on time, which most people don't pay. They'll pay off their credit card balances on full, like I did, but most don't. Now they make money on the interest as well as the 2.25% they make.
Right.
That's why they throw credit cards at you. The same thing with insurance companies. The same thing. It's like you have to understand that relationship, and once you understand the relationship, it's easy. Then you just play their game, and then and that's what I've learned as I've traveled. You're not going to change the world, but you can play the game. And once you play the game, it's like, it's easy. It's
free game.
Free game.
Yeah.
You see, man, they're getting deeper and deeper.
Economics.
Even wrapping it up is deep.
I'm sorry. It's like it's so important though. It's like it's so important. That's how you get your freedom. The freedom that you guys probably dream about. That real freedom. That's how you get it. It's understanding how economics work. Because once you understand it, it's so easy. The marijuana thing just told you about. Like, it's only a matter of time, especially if Joe Biden doesn't want to get impeached. It's only a matter of time before he throws in, because Tom Wolf did it too. That's why he legalized it medically, because he was about to lose the election. So, we're going to legalize marijuana now. God, help this little approval ratings for a bit. Oh, marijuana, okay, all right, we're okay with you, Tom Wolf. And now, of course, now he wants to do $2,000 stimulus check. Now ain't going to work, but he's going to try. But like that's how politicians and politics works when it comes to economics. The moment it's legalized, then that stock value goes up. Because now we can use banks and financing and do all the regular stuff instead of doing cash all the time. Which is dangerous because then the cops can pull you over. You have more than $10,000, they can confiscate it and say, oh, it's the feds, we're going to, and they make their money. And that's actually what's happened to a few companies in California where cops would stop them, take their money, and then knowing it, they'll get 80% back because of the laws of the drug games and the kingpin statute. That's what it's called, the kingpin statute. So it's like they're like, we're just losing money all day. They're just taking it. We can't do nothing about it. It's like, well, yeah, that's what it means to be illegal federally. But the moment it's legal federally, then guess what's have to happen to the share price of those? It's going to go up because people are going to invest in it. So like it's simple but difficult. You got to be informed enough to make those decisions. Marijuana legalization will happen next year. I'll say probably quarter 2 or 3. I think it's going to. It's already happening in some other states. I don't know how about PA because the Commonwealth we're old school, so we're archaic when it comes to most states. But once it happens, like that's how you make money and that's how you invest. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who invest in marijuana right now.
Right.
Like that's how you can ensure you can make money. It's that you see the trends. That trend is going to happen about 6 months later. You'll see in about 6 months, 3 to 6 months, you're going to see marijuana just get bigger and bigger. And as that gets bigger, psychedelics is going to start getting opening up. Because psychedelics is mental health. That's mental health medication, essentially. Like, it was banned because they banned it. But once it's legalized, then you're going to see money go to psychedelics, which is already happening, and I'm already invested in it. But, like, that's how you make money. Money is association of value. So people throw in money if they want something creative. People want new marijuana strains created. They throw money at it. And money ensures what? Employed labor to go do it. It's all money is. So if you want to get a good house, okay, well, how much does it cost to get that house made? Okay, well, $100,000. Okay, well, how do I make $100,000? You can get it financed, of course. If you get it financed, build cash flow. Once you have $5,000, once you have $500,000 a month coming in, okay, well, what do you want to do with that money for? You can do whatever you want with it. It's the biggest issue is the fact that a lot of people don't understand what investing is. Investing is inherently a long-term strategy. Most people who say, I'm investing in crypto, even the people who invest in crypto, people already sold, right? Most people sold. That's not investing. You speculated and you lost. That's what happened. Investing is 8 to 10 years. If you're not able to think 10 years out, don't even do it. Because you'll end up losing money, like what's happening right now.
Right.
Because now you need the money. And if you need the money, now you have to sell. And that's actually what's going to happen to the real estate market next year. Because people think it's bad now, it's going to get even worse next year. But because how much credit the Americans are in. We have like average $7,000 of credit card debt, and it hasn't defaulted yet. And next year, when it does, and people can't pay their mortgage, people already can't pay their car notes. And then eventually going to go to credit card, and they're going to hit the mortgage. Because mortgage is the last one people will pay out mortgage before they die. Because you go homeless, you don't pay out mortgage.
Right.
The moment those go foreclosed, then what do you think happens? People declare bankruptcy, they can't afford it no more, which is the poor, us, normally, black community. We're the ones poor. And then the rich who already sold in March. Because when Jeff Bezos got divorced, in short, he could sell his shares at the top of the market so he can have this big fat cash. And they're all waiting. No, they're all waiting. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, BlackRock, they're all waiting. They all have a lot of cash and just waiting for the bottom to hit. And next year, I guarantee you, I'll say quarter 2, they're going to start buying it. Because at that point, it's going to be pennies. They're going to have, the wealth transfer is serious this time, but they're going to buy shares at $5, $8, and they have trillions. Like they're going to buy out entire markets, and that's where monopolies are getting created. But unfortunately, the common people don't know this, so they're just doing it in the background. And unfortunately, we vote in a lot of these people too, and their job is not tell you anything, and that's why they hide it from you. And they haven't said anything, and I've seen it, and I made my money as my soul. So, I can see it happening, and I'm going to play the game with them, and I'm going to sell when they sell. And that's when I sold. Absolutely. Yeah, when I saw Elon Musk sell all that Tesla, I'm selling. I sold. I liquidated my stuff. I had about maybe 10% of my portfolio now. Now it's well now. I sold most of my shares. So, just now it's the recession started. So it's the same thing. It's like it's 3 to 6 months lag, and when I see them do it, I do it. But most people don't know that, and I feel bad that I feel like I'm the only one who can see this, and I want to be able to help our community more because we're the ones who are disenfranchised the most. But it's like a lot of us aren't in a position to see it, understand it, want to understand it, who have humility to understand that they're ignorant about it. Their future. They're Nicki Minaj. They are buying useless, like gold. I get it, but yeah, you can have some toys, but like you live a life like that. There's a reason why I say money doesn't buy happiness. It can buy happiness actually, but money like that, it doesn't. There's a reason why the rich live on average 10 years longer than you. When you're poor and you're struggling for money, there is a constant stress. It's a moderate level of stress at all times. I've been experienced for 2 years, which is why I have some gray in my hair now. It's a constant level of stress. You're always experiencing. It never goes away. When you make about 80, I think the number's like 80K a year. You're making about 70, 80K a year. That stress is dinner work. Now you have your bills paid, and you know where your money's coming from. And as you build out more avenues to make money, that stress goes away even more. But once you get above that, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, you can make more, but what are you using the money for? Are you using it to build a business that can help the community? Or are you using it to just buy jewelry and flex on people? Okay, it's fun. I've done it. I went to Dubai and spent $10,000 in a club. Cool, but I ain't going that more than once. I did that one time. We won a championship. It was a tournament. I'm done. What do I need to spend $10,000 on a damn table for to impress who? But these... get women. Women's not good. Money is just a tool to get you what you want. And it's important to use it to make more. It's very easy to do it. It's just, you gotta have the discipline to do it. And most won't have it. And, it's unfortunate, but, that's the reason why that wealth divides keep getting bigger, and then we keep complaining, and it's white people's fault. No, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's really your fault. With YouTube, YouTube alone has taught me so much, but it's like the information's out there. You just don't want, you're just too lazy. You're too lazy or too arrogant. It's either or.
That's what it is, man.
At the end of the day, it's like, look, man, that's kind of unfortunate, but I like what you guys are doing.
We appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on.
No, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm going to be around a little bit more. I really want to, because I want to use you guys as that platform, especially around here.
Right.
Because, I'm from McKeesport, and I'm tired of seeing it. It is revitalizing slowly because of all this money coming in, but it's the people what's going to be the issue, and the biggest way to do that is community. And with you guys and Troy, your father, it's you guys have a great foundation to hold the community together, because that's what you need community leaders. And you guys are poised to become leaders, especially for some of these kids, because you guys both play football. So it's not like not going to look up to you. So now you can get them out the street, stop getting them in trouble, hopefully you guys make more money, and you can create avenues where they don't need you anymore. okay, come in my studio and learn how to edit it. Like, you can do all types of things, especially with all the prices of the homes around here. As you get more money, you'll be able to create whatever you want to create.
Right.
But like that is what real power can do. It's, can you use it for yourself? You can use it for someone else. You can use the money for, and you can use that money to make more money and still do that.
Right.
You can do, like, you in a weird way can have it both ways. You just need to invest long enough and work hard enough to be able to get yourself in a position where you can do that. Mm-hmm. And once you can, then you can provide value to other people around you that they can only dream of.
Absolutely.
And that's basically what I've been doing in the past.
Yeah, next time we have an event, man.
Yeah, listen, let me know. Yeah.
Knowledge, man.
Listen, I want to come around and I have to. The NIL is forcing me to.
Absolutely.
In a real way. It's like, cause I'm the current chairman of the current chairman of NCAA is Tom Richardson. He used to be an actor. And I used to tell him this too. I said, dude, the easy way to fix the NCAA, just treat it like a government. Subsidize the people who can't afford it. Give the athletes like $2,000, $3,000 a month. I think that should be solved in most places. Good. If the small school can't do it, you subsidize it. The big schools can do it, they do it. Everything's even.
Right.
There you go. So, problem solved. But no, you were too greedy. Like you just couldn't do it. You had to have all the money in the world, and now you just lost all of it. And now now you have FanDuel, because now FanDuel's going to college games now, and that's going to be a whole issue. Like that's going to be bad, because that's going to be back like the what's it called, the Fat Five. It's going to get bad. Like now you have the NIL and you have gambling. It's like
in a direction. I mean, people are unsatisfied. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, no one's prepared for it, but you know, it's going to come, and the parents will be the first ones who are going to go after it. And it's you know, this
We appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you guys. Real talk. I'm really glad. Like I said, I wanted to come down and meet you guys. Give you some good tips, and
I definitely
encourage you guys to doing that. Real talk.
Definitely help them.
Yeah, man.
This is status.